Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Breakthrough with Lou. It's Monday morning. Do I look a little red this morning? Yeah, could be. I got a little bit of sun yesterday, which was an awesome thing. I love the sun. Love the effect it has on you emotionally. And you know, people say, well, the weather doesn't determine how you feel. I've heard this 101 times. From Tony Robbins and everybody else that teaches great motivation and great self-help tools. And that is true. However, the sun does have a physiological response that will definitely change the way your body is processing certain chemicals and certain hormones. So yes and no. Does the weather affect how you feel? Well, not 100%. You're in control of that. However, if you jump out there and you go, you know what, I'm going to put myself, when it's beautiful out, I'm going to get in the outdoors. I'm going to get the vitamin D from the sun. I'm going to get all the other good stuff. I'm going to get out and enjoy the fresh air. Yes, then the weather does have an effect because you're using it towards you. Now, can you be stuck in on a cloudy day and still have great emotions and still be 110%? Sure you can. Is it a little tougher? Maybe. Is it a little easier to calm down if you're sitting by the edge of the ocean than if you're sitting in traffic on the interstate? Yes, your environment. And that is a key factor, is your environment around you. How do you have it set up to win? And some people, and a lot of people, are going through this thing right now of and I'm not one to say, oh, poor, but it is running rampant where people are going, hey, you know what? We love the house we're leasing, and now all of a sudden it's $1,000 more a month, and we got to move into something smaller because that's what we can afford. And I see a dampening of motivation and energy in that situation, whereas I look and go, okay, how can you make it an adventure? How can you make it something that's going to serve you? Because not everything, if you're not in control of something, guess what? You're going to have those realities once in a while where something comes along and slaps you and you go, hey, this ain't fair. Well, there is nothing fair anymore, guys. And I don't think there ever was anything fair. What's fair is you have the opportunity to determine your response to anything. And this is a little bit off the cusp from what I was going to talk about this morning, but it's something that maybe you need to hear. Lots of things like that. And I've even seen it on the commercial side. I can't tell you how many calls I have gotten in the past few months from small businesses going, they doubled my warehouse rent. I've got to close down, or I've got to move somewhere else, or I've got to cut in half the size I have and cut my business down. And I hear it left, right, and center, and I go, okay, what is the opportunity in there? And I know it doesn't always look like it. I get it that it's like, what the is going on here? Really? Seriously? Are you people serious? And I see it. I look around the market and you see some stuff that, these homes that are $2,000 rentals are the best. And somebody's asking, I want $4,000 for my rental. Okay, go smoke crack and, hope that that's going to happen. I hate to be sarcastic like that, but, there is some things that you just have to go, all right, if you're not in control of it, then you got to get in control of how you respond to it. That's my message for this morning to start out with. Number two, what I want to do is really go back and review the beginning of 2023, because we have got the start of a great year. There's some greatness coming up. There's some amazing opportunities. Do we still have some challenges around us? Sure we do, guys. I'd be stupid to tell you that everything's fine and the government's great and the State of the Union is great and our economy's great and the world is great and everybody's just getting along and kumbaya and we're growing as a nation and growing closer as a society. No, we're at odds. People want us fighting. People want you not to like your neighbor. People want you to worry. The news media is rampant out of control. And you're going, oh, wow, he doesn't usually talk about negativity. I'm not talking about negativity. I'm talking about reality of what's going around you. But when it comes to you, how you filter it and what you do with it is what makes the difference. I got a cute little survey from the weather app the other day, the Weather Channel weather app. Hey, some days you got to know what to expect weather-wise. Not going to affect what I do or don't or how I feel about the day, but it affects how you're going to dress. You're going to have extra clothes, a change of clothes when it gets hot in the afternoon, if you need rain gear, whatever. And they sent this thing of what do you want to see more of and less of, and I say, I want to see more of accurate weather forecasting, and that's what I want to see. I want to see the weather when I get on here. I don't want to see the agenda of COVID vaccines. I don't want to see anti-police stories. I don't want to see dislike for people of different colors because of the color of their skin. I don't want to see, one lifestyle over another or fighting with each other. I don't want to see that crap. I want to see the weather when I look at the weather station. I want to know what the weather is, and I want to see a little less of the stirring of the disrest in our country. So I let them have it. And I said, do what you do good. You are not medical advisors. You are not health advisors. You are certainly not, culture advisors. You are a weather station. And that is it. That is it. And it was like, because, you go on there and check the weather, and next thing you know, you're mad at your neighbor because they don't like you, or you don't like them because you're not supposed to. And then you go, well, wait a minute. When I see my neighbor at the mailbox, we say, hello, goodbye, how you doing? Their kids are cute. Your kids are cute. They play together. You don't hate your neighbor. But, you watch too much in the media. So, and that was a little side rant, but it was like, you want the truth about how I feel about your app? I'm going to give you the truth. You want the truth about how I feel about your behavior? Coach with me. I'll tell you the truth. But I'll tell you the truth so you can grow as a person and get better and get what you want. See, that's the difference. When you go to a coach that really cares, they're not going to give you the, oh, boo-boo, poor you, yeah, poor you, it's because of this. They're going to give you, how are you going to deal with this? How are you going to respond? How are you going to grow? How are you going to treat the person who maybe doesn't treat you fairly? How do you can punch back and forth at each other and throw rocks at each other, not literally, but verbally, or you can be the first one to step up and go, you know what, let's start over. My name is so-and-so. What's your name? What's your kids' names? Instead of being enemies with everybody, you could go, let me look at the good in people. And it really is so true. So true that there's good in everybody. Even the worst hardened criminal has something good about him. And you might say, oh, no, these guys that are in these prisons and that. Well, you put a child molester into that prison, and you see how much even the worst robber and violent gang member stands up and says, you know what, you don't mess with kids. You see, even the hardened of the hardens usually would protect a child. So you go, okay, if this guy's a bad guy, he's on death row, but you know what, he'd still protect a child. Wow, there is something good about him. I'm not saying that the murderer on death row is a good guy. What I am saying is there is some good in everybody except for the absolute socialistic serial killer. There is always the exception. You're always going to go, what about this one? 1 out of 1,000,000. Same thing with the police. Next time you want to bash at the police. Hey, there's 10 million good cops, 1 or 2 bad ones. There's 10 million criminals, and 9.99 million of them did the crime. You see the difference? And I'm not saying just because somebody makes a mistake and does a crime, they're the worst human being on the face of the earth. There are some crimes that are unforgivable, but there are others where you go, you know what, everybody's had a stupid moment in their life. What I'm trying to get across to you this morning, guys, is number one, you've got to, no matter what is dealt your way, it's how you deal with it that gives you the meaning that's either going to stress you out and make you feel like a victim, or you're going to step up and grow and you're going to feel like a victor. Not like the name Victor, like a victor, like victorious. Sometimes people go, well, my name's Victoria. Why should I feel like a victor? You know what I mean. No splitting hairs here, guys. Really seriously, though, going into this week, I would love to challenge you to go, when those now what moments come up, go, all right, how now? Not, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to deal with this? How am I going to respond? How am I going to grow? How am I going to make this better? It's not always good. Sometimes it's a shit sandwich. And sometimes it is the most delicious sandwich in the world and the best opportunity. But the fact of the matter is there's always something around the corner. Like I've told you the story before, my phone that one time. You know, just when I gave up on finding my phone with all the pictures of my daughter, and that was before the iCloud and everything where you could just go, oh, just put it on another phone. And there it was, right where I had started. And I went and searched, and oh, just as I had given up, boom, there it was. That's everything in life. When it's the darkest, the hardest, it doesn't look like you're going to make it through, but you keep looking and you're determined, that's when you break through. That's when you're right around the corner, when it seems the hardest, like it's not going to happen. How many times has this happened in your life where you've had an insurmountable, maybe you've had a relative that was injured badly or something, and you were getting prepared for the worst and the goodbye, and all of a sudden they came back around. Now, I'm not going to push any religion on you or anything here, but I'll tell you a quick story from when I was a kid. We had a friend. He was more my sister's age, but I was like everybody's little brother, and he was a really cool dude and had this really cool Firebird. And we got the call one night that he was going so fast that he flipped and hit like 10 foot from the top of a pole. That's how fast in the propulsion, and he wasn't going to make it through the night. And it's like my big brother. I was like, oh my God. And I'll never forget as a child, I said my prayers before I went to bed, whatever, but I laid on the couch and prayed so hard for my friend. I was like, please God, that's not right. This is a good person. Yeah, he did something stupid with the driving like that. And we all have. And I remember praying so hard. And everybody's like, just be prepared. Everybody's got to be prepared. And he was a good guy in the community. Everybody loved him. And then the next morning he was still there. And the next week, and through much rehab and everything else. Well, to this day, he's still alive. It's funny. A couple of years back, I was like, oh wow, hey, we're friends on Facebook now. And I haven't talked in years, but it was like, when you don't give up on something or someone or maybe yourself, it's the next level's right around the corner. And I think we've all had those experiences or known somebody who has, where you look and go, my God, I'm glad we didn't give up. I'm glad we didn't give up. Or that person hanging off the side of a cliff, and the helicopter's coming, and I can't hold on any longer. Yes, you can. Somebody told them, yes, you can. And they get there, and just as the medic goes to grab them, they let go and they grab them, and they would have fallen if that medic wasn't there at that moment. And, everybody's like, oh, that was just a split second. Well, that person could have given up a minute earlier and been splattered on the bottom of the valley floor, right? Think about these things. This is what I want to encourage you. And I know I'm using some crazy examples this morning, and I'm a little bit on a roll here because you get some wake-up calls in life, and you go, wow, life is a gift. And I don't care how tough everything is and everything that's going on. And, we've been on the verge of war, or we might be at war with some of the things going on. And you got to open up your eyes and know what's going on around you. But then you got to go, what am I going to do with this? I can't sit glued to a TV or a phone all day and fighting on Facebook. Okay, that's not a life. If your life ended tomorrow, would you look in those last breaths and go, I'm so glad I was fighting with somebody I don't even know on Facebook about our difference of opinion? Now, hey, free speech. You got your opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I still care for you. I still want the best for you. I'll still fight for your right to speak, live, believe, whatever you do, even if it's totally opposite of what I believe, do, because this is America. Okay? So I'll defend your right, and that's all I ask in the reverse. And you can come to me, I'm an open book. We can have a humane discussion about our differences and come to greater understandings. I'm okay with that. That still doesn't mean I'm going to go, oh, hey, yeah, I totally follow what you do. I'm going to become like you because, I can respect you as a person. No, and I don't want you to become me. Okay? What I do want is people to have a little more respect and compassion. And my God, please have a little more respect out on the roadways, folks, and stop moving to Florida if you don't want to drive decent here. Just kidding, but seriously, man, the days of letting somebody out of a parking lot, saying thank you when somebody does let you in traffic, that doesn't hurt to go, thanks, appreciate you, thank you. And my initial thing is I want to flip somebody off when, I just let you out so you didn't have to wait 20 minutes in traffic and you don't even have the courtesy to say thank you. And then I realized, well, that's not my problem. That's their problem. Their problem is they don't know how to be thankful and grateful. And you know what? I look at it and go, well, I was grateful I was able to actually do something nice for somebody. It didn't really do anything to make me go too far out of my way. And leave it at that. Simple. All right, so I'm going to review what we've done recently and talk to you real quick about something, and we're going to carry forward because it's going to be a great week. We're really rounding into the bend into spring here, and I'm really excited about it. So what did we finished out last year with the rolling start, remember? And this, I just want you to kind of take some notes real quick this morning and just implement this shit. Let's go. All right, seriously. We started out with the rolling start, not waiting until X happens to get going on your life, to get going on what you need to do. And then we went into New Year, New You. So commitment time. It was a commitment time. Instead of going, I'm going to make some resolutions, commit to who you're going to be. Commit to what 2023 really means to you. Now, it's always great to have a starting point, as long as you're not waiting. And you go, oh, I'm going to eat like a dog until next Monday, and then I'll start a diet. Now, start now, but you can have that starting point of where you're going to measure. And that's always great around the beginning of the year. I think that's cool. Then we talked about you got to have a clear target. If you don't know exactly what you're after, you're not going to get there. You come to me as a coach and you say, I want to make some more money, coach. Okay, here's $1. Get out of here. You just made $1. You made more money than you had a minute ago. And you'd be, telling me how number one I am with your traffic finger, I'm sure. But that's a icebreaker a lot of times in coaching when I'm coaching somebody on the financial side or the business side. I'm like, well, what do you want? What exactly do you want? And they're like, oh, I want to make more money. Well, how much? You got to know what you're after, right? Then you got to have a powerful why. Why do you want it? Okay, to have more pieces of paper with green ink on it is not a really compelling feeling unless you're Scrooge and your biggest thing is you want to sit there and count those dollars and count them over again, or lay in your bed filled with them like some people do with rose petals. Throw their money on the bed, lay in it, and go, oh, this feels good. No, it feels like rough ass paper, and it's probably pretty dirty. What is that money going to give you? Well, my kid is sick and they need an emergency transplant, but I got to pay X amount to make that happen. That's pretty powerful. Why? To go, I want a new car. Okay. I want a Dodge Rebel truck with this, and this, and this, and it's got to pull my trailer, and I want this type of interior because I do a lot of traveling on the road for work, and I want to feel good about myself while I'm traveling, and I want the built-in GPS, and I got to have a sunroof because I love the feeling. You see the difference of I just need a new vehicle. Those are the things. And I don't know what your why is and your target. Red light, green light, we talked about that. What do you perceive as a stopping block in life? What do you perceive as a, hey, I'm ready to go? And what are the cautions? I talked about that because I think I was sick that week. And that's why I've talked about, okay, we got red lights and green lights, but what about the cautions? When your body's telling you, I'm breaking down, you need to stop for a minute, you need to rest, you need to pay attention to this. Your phone's starting to ring with bill collectors, or you're starting to pay more interest on your loans than you're paying down each month. You're paying all interest on your payments because you're making the minimums, and your finances are getting worse and worse little by little. Those are yellow lights. Those are wake up, caution. Something's about to happen here. Then we talked about setting your GPS or your map, your massive action plan. Nothing works without action. We talked about, in the book, The Secret, having that visualization. Visualize, yes, see it. That's great. But it's not going to happen. You got to get off your butt and do something to make it happen once you have that clear picture. Now, in The Secret, having a clear picture is important because you can take a lot of action and not know what you're after, and you might be taking side to side action, okay? And then we talked about Action Baby. My God, that was a good week. Really massively taking action. This isn't once in a while taking a little shot at something, or this is consistent, massive. How do I go forward? How do I even get ahead of the game? See, if you're ahead of the game, I'm going to guarantee you something. Something's going to come along and trip you a little bit, a speed bump, and you're going to be back in the game. You're going to be on track. When you're just on track and just barely scratching by, something's going to come and take you out to the knees, and you're going to feel like it derails you. Big difference. Oh, a little setback. We're still okay. We're still on course. Oh, setback. Oh, now I'm making up time. Now I got to work twice as hard. That's not as much fun. Setbacks are going to happen. But if you're ahead of the game, a setback just kind of levels that playing field instead of puts you in a hole. I know lots of analogies this morning, guys, but I really want this to set in today because we need an amazing week. Okay, the month of February has been tumultuous at best. Lots of change, lots of things that, speed bumps, ba-boom, some things have happened where it's like, tech issues and computer crashes and, the stuff that goes along with the joys of being in business that you don't see. You see me come on here and smile and teach you and all that. You don't see when the mornings you're going, where is he? It's 8 o'clock and I don't hear the music yet. You don't see oh my God, we have a tech issue. Or, there's a staffing issue I'm getting a call about before we start the day. And then we talked last week about, is that all there is? Hitting the goal and going, is this it? Oh, this is it? I worked this hard, and that moment of, oh, okay, cool. All right, I hit it. See, that's where your goals have to be fulfilling, and fulfillment is key. So now what? Now what do we need to, do? We've got some good goal setting processes. We've got the processes into creating the things we want. There's something else. There's something else that matters. And there's a couple of things that happen in the process of creating goals. And that's what this whole past month has been about, is creating goals. There's something that is missing in 99% of the teaching. There's something that people don't understand, the magic of the goal creation. I'm not saying goal setting, because goal setting, anybody can set a goal. Goal creation is the whole follow through. That's my term there, is goal creation. Screw goal setting. I mean, it's great to, you got to have goals. You got to have goals, but you got to have a plan, and you got to be fulfilled. And there's all this stuff that goes along with it. So that's goal creation. But there's still one more secret. You want to know what it is? This Thursday night, 7 p.m., I'm doing goal creation and the number one secret. It's a free event. Guys, there is no reason not to take advantage of this. It is a free event where I'm going to teach you the goal creation, and I'm going to give you that secret of what makes it really work long-term in the grand scheme of it, and that keeps things going at a way that you've never experienced before. All right, I'm going to throw up in the chat here. That just didn't sound right. I'm going to throw up in the chat. I'm going to throw in the chat up here the link to get your butts registered for this, because I can't suggest enough to handle these things and get on to, no matter where you're watching me, guys, I just put those links up, to get moving and to get your life going and to really take control and to get all the rewards. You think all the rewards are when you hit the goal? That's a good point to start celebrating, but all the rewards are something beyond the goal. So join me for goal creation, guys. It is going to be goal creation and the number one secret. Number one secret might be just as valuable as the entire workshop. And it is as valuable as the entire workshop. I want to share this with you. Not selling you anything. You know, this is something I'm doing for you. There is a VIP version that's only a few dollars. If you want to have some extra bonuses that go along with that, that would be awesome, because it helps me keep our channels going. But the key is, you know, the free event is, you know, there's nothing I'm going to teach. There's nothing that I'm going to hold back or tell you, oh, now you got to buy something else to learn that actual secret. It's all getting revealed on the event. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I look forward to seeing you on there. Get signed up now, not later. Don't think about it. Just do it, because what do you got to lose except for baggage, stress, drama, depression? That's all stuff I'd say is pretty good to lose. Let's move forward, guys. So I want you to live with absolute faith, energy, passion, always, and I mean always, live your dreams, guys. This is Coach Lou signing off on Breakthrough with Lou this Monday morning. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. Let's get rocking. You ready? 3, 2, 1. See you soon.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream. Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.